All right, traders. I just want to do another recap on Tesla, Apple, Boeing, DraftKings, Microsoft, PayPal, and Tesla. And just wanted to do also a little correlation between the Nasdaq Index 100 and the SPY. Sorry, I just ate something. Basically, starting off with Tesla, I drew out. This is a 3-day, 3 year candle chart, but basically all you need to know is it's 3-day candles, and I wanted to kind of just zoom in on this area here. You can see we're getting close to this 50 moving average or 50 EMA, and we're got like a double bounce right here, and there's definitely buying pressure right with these wicks, and you can see that on the daily intraday. The candle starts at the close of the day before. I mean, it's got to be, or I don't know. What's the open here? 102.28. Yeah, it's at the close of the day before. So we shot up in pre-market, right? Or after hours that day it traded around, but it shot up in pre-market and then just got sold off, right? But then almost the inverse happened today. It gapped up in pre-market and it just kept going up instead of gapping up and going down. I guess that was the point. But I think that could be a really good sign that people started buying it first thing in the morning. I ended up picking up a couple shares here, and I just said the other day I don't like holding things overnight, but I'm gonna take a little chance on this one, and I just wanted to kind of we'll do all the stocks and then we'll go over to the indexes I wanted to mention. So PayPal, it almost did pretty much the same thing. Gapped up, right, the day before, got sold off, but it came back, right, which I wasn't really sure about, but then it ended up the day, at the lows, which I thought was a good sign. I didn't pick any up here because I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but when it gapped up, I still didn't pick any up until I saw, well, let's see. Yeah, until I started seeing it keep climbing, and then I picked some up, sold off around up here somewhere. But I think tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day for PayPal and Tesla, and I think even going forward, Microsoft, it did basically the same thing, right? It's coming up. I think the institutions are starting to buy these things because obviously it's coming into a great area, and so the institutions are kind of weird. The institutions, they buy it themselves, taking a speculation, or they're speculating themselves. But then I think callers and people are calling in, towards that day, and they're seeing the charts on their phone or whatever, and they think that they want to get out, so they start calling in. And I think they're adding to this buying pressure or selling pressure. I mean, going down, and I think that tomorrow is going to be the reverse of that, and obviously next week should definitely be the reverse of that. But we'll have to see about that. And then DraftKings, it's like all these charts kind of did very similar things, right? I mean, it didn't gap up as much as it should have, or as the others did, but there definitely was buying pressure pre-market, and then it had a V, and then just kind of kept going down. But it was the inverse today, so I think that could be a really good sign for moving forward tomorrow and the next day. DraftKings, and then Boeing. Boeing isn't on the Nasdaq; they're on the SPY, right? Or it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So, anyways, but it did a very similar thing. It got it kind of gapped up, right? Got bought up, but then it just sold off immediately, pretty much all day. I mean, there was definitely some buying pressure midday here, and then did the same thing. Gapped up, kept going. Same thing as the other one. It's not the same thing as it did the day before, but it did the same thing as the others, where it gapped up and kept going up today. But then towards the end of the day, I think people are calling in saying, "Hey, I want to get out of this. Pull out all my stocks," because they have funds and they have, when a lot of people are invested into Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, what have you, they're invested in many different things. They have basically index funds and mutual funds of their own that people are invested in, and yada yada. But their mutual funds are invested in these stocks. So I think the buying pressure was The institution's buying because they know it's a good time to buy, but then they have to sell off because customers and what have you are calling in and saying, "Hey, we got to get out of this trade." So the amount of shares that Fidelity can hold themselves is going down. So they know they're picking and choosing when they get out. They're day trading this to get their investors, cash that they want, or sometimes they just need it. So, anyways, all right, let's jump down to Index, which is the top 100 index of the Nasdaq. And I mean, man, on the intraday, it gapped up right today. It did it, which it did yesterday too. But as you can see, it gapped up higher than it did yesterday, and there was more buying pressure than yesterday as well. Yesterday kind of definitely saw some trading. Today didn't see as much trading. People, I would say, more or less agreed and were buying it, and then towards the end of the day, more or less agreed as well and just sold it off. But I think there's definitely going to be a reaction to that, and obviously, like I was saying, my interpretation is the institutional investors, since they're buying in pre and after market hours, that those are really good signs for us as retail investors that are trying to get a greater insight on the market. And anyways, SPY did the same thing. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys and let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.